Hello America, this Call of Duty goddess. Today is February 9th, 2016. I got a I got a tip from Richard Hoochin about this thing. FBI deputizes private contractors with extraordinary powers, including shoot to kill. Now, I think this this article is a little overkill in the title, but I mean, really, what can you say when you look at this place called InfraGard? It's insane. InfraGard started in Cleveland in 1996 when the private sector there cooperated with the FBI to investigate cyber threats. Then the FBI cloned it, says Phyllis Schenek, chairman of the board of directors of the InfraGard National Member Alliance and the prime mover behind the growth of InfraGard over the last several years. InfraGard itself is still an FBI operation with FBI agents in each state overseeing the local InfraGard chapters. Okay, so that is crazy. At its most basic level, InfraGard is a partnership between the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the private sector. The InfraGard website states InfraGard chapters are geographically linked with FBI field office territories. So what it is, to join, each person must be sponsored by an existing InfraGard member, chapter, or partner organization. The FBI then vets the applicant. On the application form, prospective members are asked which aspect of the critical infrastructure of their organization deals with. These include agriculture, banking and finance, chemical industry, defense, energy, food, information, telecommunications, law enforcement, public health, and transportation. When I ask about discussions the FBI and Homeland Security have had with InfraGard members about their use of lethal force, he says that much I cannot comment on, but as a private citizen, you have the right to use force if you feel threatened. We were assured that if we were forced to kill someone to protect our infrastructure, there would be no repercussions, the whistleblower says. Now, I don't know, but anyway, let's look at the InfraGard website. Oh, we'll look at the regular website, infragard.org. They're also infragard.net. About InfraGard. InfraGard is a partnership between the FBI and the private sector. It is an association of persons who represent businesses, academic institutions, state and local enforcement agencies, and other participants dedicated to sharing information and intelligence to prevent hostile acts against the U.S. I wonder if this will be the law enforcement portion of the TPP agreement, and I wonder if this is who is in the streets of Burns. Now, this strikes me because I remember Chris Briles had said some things about getting terrorized in the streets there in Burns, and this shouldn't be able to go on. I'll let you listen to Chris Briles.
Vehicles driving around town, following people, harassing people.
Now, when we say harassing, what do you mean harassing?
Oh, screaming and yelling at them, threatening them.
I mean, you talking about these people driving down the highway or downtown? They were screaming and yelling at them.
Yeah, and at night they'd stop across from somebody's place and yell at them, and then drive off. And
what would he yell at them?
Oh, about how that they were wrong in their convictions about what they were doing, and that they needed to be kind of careful with who they talked to, and just stuff to create fear for people.
So these people they were yelling at, they knew they were at meetings or something, perhaps?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And the sheriff's deputies and stuff like that. Well, after I had talked to some of these Oath Keepers and the 3%ers,
I'll stop it right there. Yeah, and you hear that, right? And then he goes on. Remember when he outed the FBI agents that he had found at the armory? and he ran their tag number and it came back to the FBI. Now I wonder if that InfraGard, okay, if they use like FBI vehicles, they're supposed to be like a child of the FBI. Why wouldn't they like have their vehicles? You know what I mean? So let's listen to Chris Briles about what happened here.
And gave them the plate number, and I went back to the armory to find out what was going on, you know, to tell my friend what I had found out, that the guys were not honest, and to tell him what they had told me. And there was a sheriff deputy and a local police officer there at the same time. While I was talking to him, the sheriff deputy got a phone call, and he said, "Oh, okay." And I said, "What's going on?" He says, "Well," he said, "the two cars were undercover FBI, and so was the one that you stopped. They're undercover FBI, and we have to keep this a secret."
Now, I don't know if you remember, but I watched Pete Santilli. I mean, like, I was glued. I was addicted. I was totally glued to my computer. I watched Pete Santilli, and I remember when he went to the Verizon store or whatever cell phone store to get data or something, and when he walked out the door, an FBI person called the lady's cell phone that waited on Pete Santilli and asked about him. And Professor Doom even called and verified it, talked to the lady on his YouTube channel. You can find it on his YouTube channel, where he talked to the lady, and she had said he no longer got out the door, and the FBI called me, and I'd like to know how in the world they got my number, and it was crazy. So the ragtag bunch of people. Now here's another video I want to show you. Now this is when the militia went up to the FBI compound at the airport there and met with the FBI. Now these are the FBI. They're wearing jeans and whatever, but they all have badges and they're visible. You can see them. So you know, that's the real FBI. And then you got let's see, these guys here, they kind of look like FBI without the badges. I'm wondering if they are this InfraGard. Now they do have an InfraGard in Oregon, okay? You know, on this Oregon InfraGard, the history, it says that the pilot program project began in 1996. From this new partnership, the first InfraGard chapter was formed to address both cyber and physical threats. So it really makes you think. I mean, they're closely knitted with the FBI, and yeah, I think the FBI are using mercenaries. Everybody who said they're mercenaries, they're freaking mercenaries. But yeah, it probably is InfraGard. And then you've got Hillary Clinton out there selling this. If she has sold this to Uranium One, if I were Uranium One, and that land was pretty much, you know, people lived on it or around it or something, I'd definitely hire some Mercs. And I would definitely hire them through the FBI, and then that way I could find out if there are any threats to my uranium and possibly be able to legally threaten the neighborhood. Imagine the power you would have as a corporation, having the FBI's communication and investigative services behind you, as well as hiring Mercs from them. I think possibly crisis actors as well. Dude, this is crazy. That's a lot of control. That's a lot of manipulation. And if I were Hillary Clinton, the person selling this land that isn't hers to sell, being the Secretary of State, selling this to the Russians, okay? I would frickin' say, oh, use this service. They're affiliated with the FBI. And that'll really cover her ass every which way but loose. You know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It would be nice if we could find out if Uranium One uses that company. And then that way, we'll really know we're screwed. So, the thugs in the streets of Burns? I'm thinking is InfraGard. They have a Oregon one. I think they have, I'll go to their homepage. I think they have, yeah, they have them pretty much all over the United States. But I had no idea about this. Anyway, just thought I'd let you in on that one. It's pretty crazy. And I'll leave all the links below, of course. This is Call of Duty Goddess signing off, and as always, I got your 6.